even have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. All right, we're hot. We're hot. Mr. HT says we're hot this morning. We're going to get right with it. We have a lot of information, a lot of things to do this morning. Of course, we want to let you know to tune in, call your friends, call your family, let them know to Talk Beat Jones. We're live on a Sunday from 9 a.m. to 10, and you're going to be able to call us at 313-868-0342. That number again to call is 313-868-0342, and we'll give you the other numbers shortly. But again, this is the Talk Beat Jones. And Talk Beat Jones and you, let's talk about what's on your mind and the events that are interesting. But before I go there, let me do this. This is the Talk Beat Jones Show. I'm your host. I'm Billy Jones. Talk Beat Jones is the entertaining, talk, and informative show for the people. Please call in at 313-868-0342. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. You are invited to call in, watch, or listen on Roku, Amazon, Apple, Alexa, Internet, TV33, WHPR, your telephone, app, and Fire Stick. The Talk Beat Jones Show is live every Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and may be seen other times during the week. How about that? Talk Beat Jones and you. Let's talk about what's on your mind and the events that are interesting to our community. Talk Beat Jones, the people's show that informs and connects the people, the family, with the truth. You can call right now. That's right. You can get ready to get in dial. In queue. 313-868-0342. The producer, the director, the executive vice president, the general manager, the trainer of the staff. That's joined at the hip with Mr. R.J. Watkins, the gentle giant himself, Mr. Henry Tyler, H.T. And my studio co-host is, what's your name, sir?
Tom Wilson.
We're going to come right to Tom. Okay, we got you, Tom. You're here. I don't know if I could do this without you now, Tom.
Good morning, everyone. And like Billy said, folks, you know, call in. And Ashford and Simpson says, it don't cost you nothing.
Not at all, to participate and put out the truth. That's what it's about, is putting out the truth, family. We have a lot of things to go to today.
Yeah, it was a busy news week today.
Anything you want to start off with, Tom?
Pardon?
Anything you want to start off with before I get rattling?
Well, I saw a few things in the paper. There was one incident up at Eastern Michigan University where there was a noose found hanging, and I believe it was in one of the students' dorm rooms, lavatory. But from what I read in the paper was the student had some visitors over, and, you know, they considered a prank, but the university says, you know, they're going to, you know, they don't tolerate this nonsense, and they're going to do some investigating. Also in Battle Creek. And Battle Creek,
Michigan?
Yes, Battle Creek, Michigan. It will, as of the 15th of February, it will be illegal to drive with your phone in your hand.
Uh-oh.
So, folks, if you happen to be going out 94 and you get off going, like, say, just slightly north and west, and you passing through Battle Creek, hopefully you won't have to make any call, but, you know, just don't have your phone up in your hand.
I'm glad you're telling me that, Tom, because for whatever the reason, I've gotten bad, you know, picked up the habit, got the bug of having my phone and trying to pull up a number and trying to call a number, and, you know, and it's very distracting.
Right.
And I thank the good Lord for watching me and having my back, having my soul, having my spirit, having my life, because some terrible things could happen, some bad things could happen when you're doing that.
Well, yeah, because if you're down on the expressway, okay, and I'm just saying you're doing 60 miles an hour, I mean, you know, you're traveling like 88 feet a second to, you know, do a mile in a minute. And I mean, you know, you're taking your eye off the road to sit there and do something that you can either pull over later on or wait until you get home to make that call. And, you know, you're putting not only your life in jeopardy, but you're putting other people's lives in jeopardy.
Okay.
And it'll cost, in Battle Creek, the first offense is $100 and the second offense is $200.
Wow.
And they also have a new pullover law, you know, protecting the first responders. Right now, folks, the way it is, if you see a state trooper or you see an emergency vehicle pulled over on the side, you have to move over to the next lane and you have to kick it down 10 miles below the posted speed limit. And if you don't do that, bang, you got a $400 bill you got to pay.
Well, with the idea of saving the lives of our officers, because as many times we've seen it of late, too many officers are being struck whilst sometimes they're stopping to try to help a distressed driver.
Right.
And other times they're just doing their job.
That's it.
And they pull their car over, and believe me, they've had actually some deaths.
Yeah, and I heard Lieutenant Mike Shaw, who's the lieutenant of the Michigan State Police, I heard him on a newscast back here earlier during the week, and he says he knows one of their troopers who has been hit multiple times.
Yes, yeah, 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Well, let's go with what's happening here. Let's go health-wise real quickly.
Okay.
The flu is widespread in the U.S. with 17.8 million cases, but experts credit vaccines for low severity season. With the flu season still in full swing, as many as 17.8 million people, including 2 million more within the last week, have fallen sick with influenza since October, and what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention calls a low-severity season. How about that, Tom?
Well, you know, I even heard a report about the flu. They were saying it's not too late to get the flu shot. I mean, I know the season's, you know, kind of like, ramping down, but they were saying that it is not too late to get that flu shot.
That's right. That's right. Marathon. Marathon wants the pet Coke storage variants. Now, family, it's not that you pull out the drawer and you call it your pet. It's
and it's not white.
It is not white.
That you use for something else.
Unless you got one of them little bitty dogs and you call it, you know.
Right.
But Marathon wants the pet Coke storage variants. They don't want to have to put a cover over their supply of this, which makes and markets pet Coke as a fuel for things such as cement kilns and utility boilers, is seeking a variance from several provisions of its 2017 Detroit ordinance on riverfront storage of such products, including a requirement that the pet Coke be stored and processed in enclosed structures. What is that? What is that about? You have any idea?
Well, you know what? From what I can understand, pet Coke is like basically coal grounded down.
There you go.
Okay, and I mean when the wind blows, it just doesn't lay there. It gets in the atmosphere. So, I mean, you know, down there, and I think it's 48217 zip code, and Otis Mathis, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, down there in the southwest Detroit area, you know, it's some terrible pollution down there, and, you know, and that kind of thing. So, and I remember back here a couple of years ago, as Billy mentioned about that pet Coke, the city council passed an ordinance that said basically that, you know, you've got to have this stuff covered.
Yes, yes. And for the family out in southwest Detroit and areas and that communities out in that area, I believe just about a week ago, they had this situation in which the smell was so funky that they were getting calls all from everywhere about how bad the air quality was.
And my guess was right.
Yes.
Marathon said it was the weather that blew one of those flares out.
There you go.
And that's what it was. So,
Tom?
Yep.
What about this dirt? What about this dirt?
Okay, when what Billy's referring to is the dirt that is used to fill in where these homes have been razed, meaning demolished. You know, there's, you know, it has to pass a purity standard, for lack of a better way to say it. In other words, it can't have any contaminants or, you know, they're allowed up to a certain point. because right now there's concern that some of this dirt is being used to fill in these holes, where they were doing some construction or destruction on, I believe it was either 75 or 96.
96.
And they were concerned that, some of this dirt is being taken and put in those holes, and those things have been just saturated with salt.
Detroit mayor on Wednesday defended the vigorous practices of the city's demolition program in the wake of concerns over whether some of the dirt used to fill holes might have been contaminated. No city agency has been subpoenaed over the dirt because the city agency, this is from the mayor, because the agencies have been vigorous from day one, Duggan said. We have cooperated with every single investigation, and we feel very good about where the program stands today. The City Council's second in command, Mary Sheffield, put out a call Tuesday to have the U.S. House Oversight and Reform Committee convene a congressional hearing citing a Detroit Free Press report that raised the possibility that dirt being used to fill holes under the program may have been from contaminated or unverified sources, including soils from the recent reconstruction of Interstate 96 in Western. However, the people that are saying, here's what we're going to just kind of break it down into a nutshell. We're not going to go through, I have a lot of backup information, etc. But it seems that we are assured that this dirt has been tested.
Yep.
But we find that there are contractors that have been cited. And why? Because they have so many pounds, so many yards, or so many cubic feet or whatever of soil that's been verified as good soil. They run out. Then they have to get they use some unverified soil to continue filling these holes. And they have been cited. DMC, there's a company, DMC, that have continuously been cited. There are many, many holes throughout the city of Detroit where the demolition folks, have come in, and they have not filled the holes. Some of those holes are going to have to be redug up. Dirt is going to have to come out, taken away, and it's going to have to come back with some more dirt.
Yeah.
What the demolition folks are saying is that the dirt used to cost relatively okay. The contractor spoke with the Free Press, said the cost of dirt has risen substantially depending on the source of materials. Contractors previously paid on average about $2 a yard. Now costs are between $4 and $6 a yard. Some say they have invoiced the land bank between $1,200 and $2,500 or more just to fill a single hole, not including trucking fees. Now contractors are required to certify in writing and provide documentation concerning dirt sources. As is our policy, each contractor had to pay for the cost of removal, replacement, and proper disposal of the unauthorized fill, the city said in a statement. Officials confirmed that it identified at least 34 individual demolition sites where unverified backfill was used. How about that?
Well,
There's more.
There's like Aretha Franklin says, who's zooming who?
Well.
I mean, you were paying, what is it, $2 a yard, then it goes up to
$4 to $6.
$4 to $6. I mean, come on, and I mean, hopefully that, these contractors are not trying to put the screws to the city. And if they are, I mean, the city needs to go ahead and sue them. And if the city's overpaid, they need to, get their money back.
Good point. Good point. Now, family, by the way, Tom.
Yeah.
Can we tell them to get their pen and their papers ready so that we could get those numbers out so family can know that this is just not Billy and Tom's show.
Right.
This is for you. If you got a question, if we hit a button, hit your bell, and you want to ring my phone, do that, please.
Yeah, Anita Ward said, ring my bell.
Ring my bell. What's those numbers, Tom?
Those numbers are, and the area code is for all three numbers, folks, 868-0342, 868-0351, and 868-4336.
Okay, now we're going to take those numbers off the screen shortly here, so make sure you write it. Give it to them again, Tom, so we can take those numbers off.
868-0342, 0351 and 868-4336.
All right. You know, as we're moving around here, family, that's right. We like to move. We like to hit and move and don't stick too long. But I have something coming up towards the latter part of the show.
Okay.
Okay? And it's going to be nasty. And I mean nasty good. Okay? Nasty good is what Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and of course, Tom.
Tom Wilson.
Okay, and we're working this thing here. Working this doggone thing.
Hey.
Okay? I mean, we've got some great shows here on Sundays, family. I want you to know that. Tune in early because we have a great show preceding us and a great show coming on after on a Sunday. Yes, it is. Man ordered to start gun safety campaign. A man who ran an unlicensed home daycare where a toddler accidentally shot and wounded two other children has been sentenced to 2 years of probation. He has been sentenced to 2 years of probation, and he had 2 or 3 guns unsecured at a family daycare center that he's running unlicensed. Young boy, 3 years of age, got in. The kid shot another kid. Oh, excuse me, Miss Eastside. He shot another child in the head. The child loses the right eye. He shot. This is only a 3-year-old doing the shooting. He shot the other child in the shoulder, and this child is traumatized. He is telling people that talk with him, I got shot. He shot me. Why'd he shoot me? Everywhere he goes, he tells people the same story about him being shot. Now, I'm concerned and questioning, why is this white man getting off with having 3 unsecured guns in an unlicensed daycare with children, and he's getting off with probation, and yet black folks, when we have the situation of a shooting and there's a gun in play, our folks are going to jail.
Yeah, well, that shows you there's 2 rules, There's a rule, they write the rules, okay? And we have to live by the rules. But, if anything, this man should be doing some jail time. First of all, he's got an unlicensed daycare center, right? And second of all, you've got unsecured weapons in that place. And as Billy just mentioned, now we have a tragedy on our hands. But he shouldn't have just got that nice little slap on the wrist. He should have been, a foot should have been broken off somewhere that you can't see.
You're talking about put that long boot?
That's right. That's right.
I believe that there is something in our laws that we have a problem. We had a governor, Snyder, did a pardon on a man that's been arrested 4 times.
Right.
Hold on, Carl, I'll get you shortly. Who's been arrested 4 times for drunken driving. And he was convicted finally of a misdemeanor, of a felony, because he had so many drunken driving situations.
Yeah.
And the judge sentenced this man to 135 days in jail as well as probation. This man is working for a
CPA firm.
CPA firm.
Right.
And he is the senior vice president of this CPA firm, and he wanted to be the president. However, because he had this felony, he cannot, in good faith, move into that position. Why? Because the person that he is to replace in that organization is the only person that had the knowledge that he has a felony. And the question is, how is these white folks doing this where this man could have all of this power, and the man who is ahead of this is the only person out of 1,800 folk who knew that this man has a felony? So he petitioned the governor for a pardon.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. He started in October. The bottom line is through by December, Snyder had given him a pardon. And he wanted this so that he can move up. Now he's making $140-some thousand now. But he said he needed this pardon so that he could be assured of potentially getting this other position and being in a position to better take care of his family.
Well, you know, they say birds of a feather flock together.
Not only that one, but Snyder also, what is that word? Pardon another lawyer who was making $250,000 a year, drunk driving, same situation, scenarios here, and he petitioned because he wanted to be able to travel and do business. And guess what? Within a bam, he also was pardoned by Snyder. I'm leading up to something, folks. How these white folks playing this game and giving all of this leverage, leeway to their people. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me. Caller, you live. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Billy, I haven't talked to you a good while, but I wanted to inform you, if you don't know, on October the 11th, there was a resolution, bond authorizing resolution, passed by the city council of persons, not the whole city council, Brenda Jones.
Okay.
Scott Benson,
Okay. Excuse me. The way we do it here on this show is, what is it that you are talking about? What resolution? And Tyrone, you got to move faster. My program is not a slow-paced program, please.
Bond authorizing resolution, October the 11th.
Resolution of what? Resolution of what?
This bond authorizing. That's the resolution
Do you know what you're talking
on October the 11th.
Okay.
They created what they call authority officers.
A what?
That they can borrow money on us and we don't consent by the ballot.
Okay. Has it
And
passed?
the person on that is the mayor, the chief financial officer who's not elected by us, and the financial officer who they appointed over the city. So we're being robbed while we're talking about things that don't matter. We're being robbed.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
$435 million.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Has the ordinance already passed? Has the bill passed?
Not no ordinance.
Has it
A
passed?
resolution.
Has the resolution passed?
Yeah, resolution.
Okay. So it's passed. So why? But hold on, Tyrone. Hold on. Where we are on this Talk Beat Jones show is I work to try to get things that we have the ability to potentially get ahead of. I mentioned I don't have no voice. I mentioned the fact that the marathon is wanting to have that variance. Now, us as a people can step up and we can stop that before it happens. That's what
It's already happening. They already done bought 430.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, we're going to move on, Tyrone, because if it's already happened and nobody got in front of it.
Are you with the mayor?
Are you with the girl?
Are you with the mayor?
Are you with the girl?
But it sounds like you with the mayor. That's why people don't call your show.
You know what?
Bye-bye.
I don't care if you never call me, Tyrone. I really don't. Thank you, sir. I don't understand this. Anyway, I won't go into that. Jesse Smollett, did he make up this attack? They're saying now that the people that he said attacked him, I don't have no volume, that attacked him said that he paid them to do this.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook, not that Facebook is the Bible, okay, but it said it was from, and I can't remember what news organization it was from, said that the young man orchestrated this thing in terms of him being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I don't know why anybody would orchestrate something where you got two guys who come and beat your brains out.
Well, one of the guys worked on Empire.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And the question there is, Jesse is a very popular, well-loved guy. So what would motivate him, as they say, to potentially, now again, we say allegedly, this is what he's done now, is to make this up. So we have to keep a continual eye on this situation to see what is happening when this person was a member of the LBGT community. Why would he be trying to bring attention in a falsehood
Yeah.
is what the question is. And here's the bad part. If it is proven that he is the person that orchestrated this, he is going to have a real nice legal problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the LGBT community, I mean, they catch hell anyway. But when you got something like, God forbid, this is the truth that he orchestrated this, I mean, it doesn't bode well for them. And I'm not saying just because of this one incident, but some people will pick that thing up, they'll take it, and they will run like crazy. I know this guy, he's some kind of elected official, I think he's down in Washington, where he was talking, he compared the LGBT people to the Ku Klux Klan. And that kind of thing. And I'm going like,
Well,
this man is out of his mind. If anybody needs to be out of Washington, somebody like him needs to be gone.
Caller, could we get your name and your conversation, please? Yes, you're live. Are you on?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's talk, please.
Oh, yes, I was calling in regards to the fact that you were talking about flu shots earlier.
Yes, sir.
What would you say to the people out there that don't like to take the flu shot, in terms of like any sort of remedies or thing that could keep their health in order besides the flu shot?
I didn't understand your question, sir.
I think you said about the flu shot.
But they said something
Yeah.
about, also something about if you don't take the flu shot, there is another way that you can prevent the flu. Is that what you said, sir?
Right.
Well, let me do this. I do come from a health background,
So do I.
okay? So I understand that folks have the option to take the flu shot or not take the flu shot.
Right.
So that's a personal situation. There are some folks who feel they can handle these situations holistically. That's their choice. So I know that what we have also is a situation with measles. And
Yeah,
I can
right.
say that we talked about family members that was bringing their youngsters here unvaccinated, and that they're in the rooms, and some of the times they're with babies that are too young to receive their vaccination, to be vaccinated, and those babies are subject to catch this highly contagious disease, measles.
Right.
Measles was almost wiped out. Now we have an epidemic again. Why is that? I asked the question. Because what? But going back to you in the flu, again, do you take the flu shot, sir?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay. Give me your understanding about the flu shot, and I'll accept your thought on it.
Well, I think the flu shot thing is like, when you take it, some people, of course, get sick from it. When that's what you're going to do anyway when you get the flu.
It's called.
So your
it's
body's
called-
going to fight it off either way.
Yes.
So why would I get sick for free
Ah.
when nothing's wrong with it at the time?
Okay.
Well, I think in terms of the flu shot, and with some people, and I know some people, they have a reaction to it. I mean, basically, anything we put in our body that's not,
It's the
natural
form.
to us, we're going to have a reaction.
It has to form antibodies.
Yeah, and it has to form antibodies. In other words, you got to call the soldiers out to fight the flu shot. But, as Billy said, you got a choice to take it or not take it. And also, in terms of taking the shot, it's like insurance. It's kind of like better to have than not want, than, not than want and not have.
All right. I got to move on, sir. Thank you very much for that call. And
Thank you.
Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay. And I
Okay.
appreciate. And listen, sir, we'll be back on Sundays live from 9 to 10, and we do appreciate your call. And I want to express
Right.
some callers I have a long history with. I've been on television here in Detroit since 2006, 2007. And I know a lot of the callers. And as I move to Sunday, that is to say, I'm developing a different family members, folks that I can work with, folks who feel that they can't work with me, name calling, etc. I don't deal with that. So I thank you very much. I
Right.
hope that you'll join us, okay?
I'll be watching.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Caller, we're going to go to a commercial break shortly, but I want to get your name and your thought, please.
Happy Sunday to both of you. This is Theo Rose.
Okay, well, Theo, I need you to hold on so
No
that we
problem.
can get you talking. And we're going to go to a commercial break. That is right now, right here. Call your friends, call your family. This is the Talk Beat Jones, where we give it to you honest, without any cuts. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones.
Bon Appetit, Elegant Catering. We now deliver. Pre-order your dinners today. Most Wanted Platter. Visit our website, bonappetitelegantcatering.com. Barbecue rib dinners. We now deliver. Shrimp dinners. We now deliver. Fried chicken dinners. We now deliver. Lamb chop dinners. We now deliver. Fish dinners. We now deliver. Surf and turf dinners at Bon Appetit. We now deliver. Give us a call, 313-444-5048.
Now you can watch WHPR TV 33 on Fire Stick. Catch all of your favorites. Stay informed. Don't miss a minute of your favorite talk shows. Call, text, tweet, post. WHPR TV 33 is worldwide on Fire Stick. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. WHPR TV 33, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones. I want to invite you to listen, to watch, and to participate every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's right, from 9 to 10 a.m. That's the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Dr. Talk. Make sure you tune in every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's Talk Beat Jones. Remember, tell your friends. Talk Beat Jones, we're now on Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m.
Alexa, open TV 33 Live. Alexa, open FM Detroit. Alexa, open FM Virgin Islands. Now you can listen to WHPR, TV 33, and WVIE on Amazon Echo. Don't miss a minute of your favorite shows. And find out how you can have your own show heard worldwide on Amazon Echo. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. The Watkins Broadcasting Company.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. Boy, I tell you, I'm looking at Trump. And I'm about to bite my tongue trying to stay right on cue. But this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I'm your host, Billy Jones. I want to thank you, and make sure you pick up the telephone and call and give us your thoughts and your opinions, and we'll try to work with you. I didn't say we'll always be there for you, but we're going to try to work with most of you. Let me do this before I go to Theo. Kaepernick, Reed, they settled their collusion lawsuits with the NFL, but they can't say what happened. The NFL won't say what's happening, but Reed said that he had to sign a $1.69 million contract last year with the Panthers, and now he's re-signed for 3 years for more than $22 million. So he'll add that to his collusion money. Kaepernick folks, when they talk about Kaepernick should play, should be in the league, etc., Kaepernick told the new league that he wanted $20 million to play. And that seems to be his asking price. Now, you know, Cap has not played since 2015-16. The new league that he was talking with or was asking him to play or trying to get an idea in terms of his interest, their players are signing for 3 years for $225,000. That's what they're capping their players. Tom, I remember when I came out and the World Football League was there, and I was Billy Joy Jones because I wanted to sign and go to, it was in Texas, and I thought I was going to do an off-season work at one of these oil rigs and folks and get that summer job. Mm-hmm. But that didn't work. But they've got these folks that's getting paid. You know, $225,000, you actually divide that in 3 ways because my contract stated that the first year, my pay was going to be $19,000, but I was going to get a raise my second year to $22,000. Okay. How about that? Huh?
Well, you know, though, everything's relevant to time, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I'm a little bit older than Billy, but back when Billy was, you know, going to get that little something, you got to consider, you know, how things were in terms of the cost of living.
We're moving now because when that's the point, I want to get this in. Trump's emergency is lawsuit magnet. There's a situation where he has put that emergency situation together, but the Democrats, here's what the Democrats vowed to do to stop Trump's national emergency. I'm not going to read it, but they have a plan. They do have a plan to stop Trump's situation there. Home loans. They're talking about the mortgages.
Yeah.
They've given more mortgages of late.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, they said that, we used to have the highest black ownership, period, right?
In the country.
They now are talking about they're giving out, most homes are being bought for cash.
Okay.
But now they're coming up and they're giving out loans. They have a black woman in here saying, oh, great, I got a $55,000 loan. But of these 1,200 folks that's getting these, that receive these home mortgage loans or monies to buy these homes, who's getting those loans?
I guess I don't know, okay, in terms of who's getting the loans. But I would imagine, I would hope that, you know, some of everybody will be getting these loans. I mean, if you got what they say, money talks and that other stuff trots. But, you know, hopefully this is not going to be slanted one way and to the point of where, you know, we're going to be the odd man out in terms of, you know, getting the loans.
Okay. Theo?
Yes.
Happy this day to you, because remember, family, our program shifts around. We're live on Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m., but thanks to the good workings of the Lord through Mr. R.J. Watkins, Mr. Henry Tyler, our program is shown at other different times so that the different markets from different perspectives can have the opportunity to view Talk Beat Jones. And again, I'm your host, Billy Jones, and what's your name, sir?
Tom Wilson.
Okay, and this young lady is, what's your name, ma'am?
Theo Broughton.
Theo.
Broughton.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The Hood Research.
Hood Research.
That's right.
Okay, and you meet on what day, Theo?
The show is each Monday at 9 a.m.
To my understanding, you have a show here on TV 33 that views on TV 33, cable channel 91, and around the world.
That's correct.
It's on Mondays?
Yes, Monday morning, 9 a.m.
Okay, well, let's go right to your thought this morning, Theo.
Well, I was calling because of the story you talked about as it relates to the contaminated soil.
Yes.
And I was wondering if there had been any response about a lawsuit from the State Council. I have, as a matter of fact, members of Hood Research who have experienced contaminated soil, had their soil tested personally, and found that it was contaminated. So it's not a guess now. There's evidence of it.
Yes, yes. And the process is how many of these holes that have been filled throughout the city have been filled with contaminated soil because they have kicked in a system to verify the soil at this point.
Right.
But prior to the system, I think it was a little shaky there.
Well, they were denying it.
And by the way, again, Tom, you may want to add something. By the way, the soil that's already in the ground, you know, and there are some folks who have bought some of the areas and are next door, and they bought the lot. They are growing food.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Contaminated soil?
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know if they break down a house, right?
Right.
And the ground is empty, and they have filled it, and they got grass and stuff back on it, and it's
Right.
next to your home. You can buy that lot for $100 or so.
Right, right.
So if I bought a lot that was where a house was, and we're talking about urban farming, and I want to try to make sure I can get some fresh food, and the freshest food I can get is the food that I can grow myself.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
if the soil has a problem and my roots is coming from the soil that's putting the food that I'm going to eat on that
Salad.
that salad or whatever,
Yeah.
guess what?
And you're talking about illness now.
Yes.
And I think that there should be other people testing the soil. And now that the article is there and the council member, Sheffield, has been made aware of it, then the city may need to sue. And if not, there needs to be a class action lawsuit.
Well, the city said, and I have it in the paper here, they're saying they're doing the testing. They're making the companies, the contractors, to verify the soil.
Right.
And the agencies that are investigating is forcing those contractors to give them the paperwork to show where the soil came from and where it was trucked to. So those things are in order at this particular point.
Right.
So we'll see how that plays out, Theo.
Well, just another way to kill people. That's what it sounds like. And the President of the United States, I'm glad to hear that Congress has another method of dealing with him. It's interesting that he's concerned about the southern border, but not concerned about the border between the United States and Canada, because the second largest slave trade is at the northern border, and specifically the state of Michigan. If you remember the report during the auto show, there were people caught taking young victims, I should say, from the auto show down to Atlanta, Georgia, for the Super Bowl, where they were going to force them into prostitution and whatever else.
Okay, Theo, we got that part, that this is a dangerous situation, but the border from Canada, because people can cross it all the time, has always been dangerous.
Right.
So what is it that you feel they could do to heighten it? But let me do this. Let me skip. Whitmer fires back on comments about the dress. Governor Gretchen Whitmer took to Twitter on Thursday to fire back at a Detroit television station that aired a story about reaction to the blue dress she wore for her Tuesday night State of the State address. She says, "Boys have teased me about my curves since 5th grade," my mom said. "My mom said, hold your head high and don't let it bother you."
Yep.
That Fox 2 News story was way out of line. I'm tough, I can take it. In my speech, I was encouraging people to see the humanity in one another in this cruel political environment. In an era when so many women are stepping up to lead, I'm hoping people will focus on our idea and accomplishments instead of our appearance. So this is some of the problems that we're having moving forward, because I noticed that young lady in New York is receiving a lot of coverage. She's a beautiful lady.
Cortez.
Cortez. And also, I was in CVS, and I noticed that they have her picture in the cosmetics section. So regardless of what you say, you can best believe your last money that Gretchen knew that her parents will help her get some votes. But that's what we're saying, is that we can't just go through the fact of being in denial. We know that a handsome man is going to get good votes. We know that a beautiful woman is going to get beautiful votes, okay? So to deny that, and if you're wearing something that is of your choice and is your body,
Right.
that's your choice. And if people are reacting to it, I have a daughter. And if my daughter feels comfortable in what she's wearing, then be God's blessings to her. I just want folks to know how women have been held back and said, this is how you got to dress. And if you are, if you have curves, then you have to wear some baggy clothes, and you can't look that way.
Right.
It's almost back in the day when black folks was trying to get into the movies and television. They told beautiful black women that you still had to look like a nanny or a mammy in order to be in the movies. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, but
or play the role of a nanny or mammy.
or be a harlot.
Well, you know, not only that, but I remember in one of the articles, they were talking about how men are kind of like, say, given a pass.
Yes.
He's, you know, I think the woman said, you know, they got these guts on them, you know, they bald, and, you know, all that kind of thing. And, you know, things that are kind of like, they act like a woman is supposed to look like forever, like she was when she was
Yes.
18, 19, 20.
Well, even then, you know, we've got some young girls now that's 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, no.
That's developed. But what we want to do now is, as like I said, our time is moving. I want to take care of the elephant in the community. I want to talk about and see if you, the family, can call. What's those numbers, Tom?
313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, and 313-868-4336.
Okay, let's move in this direction now. When we have folk that are black that are doing some wonderful, great things in this city, and I'm now talking to us as a people, and some folks start throwing stones, start smearing our folk to try to change your perception of their value and of their moral compass. It is a doggone shame how people can get and write something in the paper cowardly to try to bring down good black folk. It is the water is damned in what I have to say. The Detroit Free Press, a young lady by the name of Jennifer Dixon, she wrote for the Detroit Free Press, but also it says USA Today Network. They put out a story about Sabri. Now, why? Oh, they point out, family, and before I go further, how many of us in this Detroit can remember the election in which our wonderful, the mother, the councilwoman, Joanne Watson, was smeared because they wanted her not to be able to win the council seat again. Smeared her. Smeared her. The writers did it. And we accepted it. We didn't fight hard enough. Now, are they after the treasurer's office? Are they after the treasurer's office because they know that they cannot beat Eric Sabri in the election? So what is it that they want to do? They want to smear the man who has come to this office of treasurer and worked hard to try to save homes. He's bent over backwards and touched his toes the other way, trying to save and help folks who were losing their homes. So why are they trying to smear and check his moral compass for how he is doing his job. Now, I have about 3 or 4 pages in which I can dispute how they are going about handling Eric Sabri, the treasurer. And I want us to understand, don't fall for the muzzle in the... That's still not right, is it? Not
Don't fall for the okie doke.
Don't fall for the okie doke. Just leave it alone, the okie doke. Got to help me, Tom. But so we're saying, Theo,
Yes.
you have had many conversations with Mr. Eric Sabri, right?
Yes, I have.
And I found from me and watching him on your show many, many, many times, and many times he was here at the station with Mr. Richard Harrison, and Cetra and other hosts. This man has been forthright, honest. He is a lawyer, so he's not stupid. He's not going to do anything that's going to hurt himself or his family. Why, Theodore, would you feel that they want to attack Eric Sabri?
Well, I think that racism, unfortunately, plays a role in the treatment of our people. Too often, Eric Sabri worked under the former treasurer, Wojtowicz, okay? Wojtowicz not only got his annual salary, he got a bonus at the end of each year.
That's right. For how many houses?
Bonus.
For how many
at the
houses
end
he
of
told?
each year.
took.
We're talking millions of dollars going into his pocket.
That's right.
Eric Sabri worked under Wojtowicz for years prior to running for the office that he holds currently. I witnessed the donation of $5 million by Eric Sabri to Wayne County Community College. That, in return, helped Wayne County Community College build the sports medicine facility that's under construction right now.
And what we're going to do here
Now,
is
Jennifer didn't write on that.
Well,
Did not
let's
lift
stay
up.
with what she did write on. I just wanted to get a little
Go
verification.
ahead.
But what she did write on is the dealings of Eric Sabri, his wife, his sons, in the procedures. She did take liberties to write on those situations, and I will say she misspoke in terms of how she categorized various situations. She even went through the process of consistently talking about something that happened in 2011 when Mr. Sabri was not the treasurer. She cited some facts, including she writes, as chief tax collector, Sabri leads one of the largest situations in the nation. And since 2011, his job has taken in all of these homes more than anywhere else in the nation as of in 2011 to 2016. However, Mr. Sabri did not become the treasurer until 2016. So how are you going to backlog him with these statistics in which he was not the man that was making the call? So you got to you are charging him with almost 4 to 5 years of the statistics that he has not the person that was responsible. And ever since he has been responsible, he has worked to try to make sure that folks who are in trouble had a plan to come and save their home. Now, I'm
Exactly.
continuing to rattle with this because in going through looking at how white folks are doing things and how they bend the rules, etc., let us understand that they say that there was a rule in the office about family members and friends participating. However, it is an open bid process that anyone can go on their computer and find out the home and can look at the bidding process and bid. Now, there is also something here that the professor at Wayne State University says there appears not to be any ethical violations. And on the rule that she is talking about, there is no penalties for not following that rule. And for clarity, Mr. Sabree says he's going to look into it and make a change because it is inherently wrong for folks of all people not to be able to bid on these homes. Period. And I think one thing further, and I'm going to finish. In the Oakland County, that treasurer says that he now is going to put together a ban on family and friends getting homes from their foreclosures. If he is just doing this now, how have their office been operating all these other years? So why is it that you're coming for Mr. Sabree, and he has been above board, and we know that in any situation you can get behind in your taxes as long as you catch them up when you can. And if they say that your property is going to auction, you have until that last minute to go down and pay your taxes. If he is using the law and the family members are handling their business, are you going to tell me because I'm in this office that's open to the public for anybody to bid, you're telling me that my family can't bid? And I'm saying, come on in and review. I know Mr. Evans says that he's going to have a review on this. I know that Sheffield, Pro Tem Sheffield, is going to have a review on this. And I believe that Sabree's answer to this is Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree embraced 2 separate county reviews of his family's property purchases from his office tax auction, he said in a statement Wednesday. So if he's saying, come on in, come on in, then he's clear in his mind that everything is good. Tom, you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I mean, in terms
Theo, I
of,
got 2 minutes.
In terms of Mr. Sabree, I mean, I'm a member of the Wayne County Democratic
quick,
Black
Tom.
Caucus, and Mr. Sabree has saved probably thousands of people from being put out on the street and being homeless by the program that he put in place.
Yes.
Where, you know, you meet with them, you settle on a payment, and the interest rate went down from 12 to 6%.
Theo, got about a minute.
It went down from 18% to 6%,
That's fantastic.
which saves their homeowners an awful lot of money. But what people need to understand
Got a minute, Theo.
is Eric Sabree has donated $5 million to Wayne County Community College.
Okay.
And
Now,
the college.
Okay, but Theo,
is
that's
picking up
good.
some
Theo, that's good. But right now, my time
VPS.
is gone, and I just needed to get the folks to understand about what they're trying to do to our black man who is working hard for everybody in this city. You
Oh, yeah.
see, and I got to let you go, Theo, because my
No
time is
problem.
out. But thank you, and I'll look for you Monday. Family, this has been Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and I want you to tune in every week, Sundays, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're not going to take that hogwash that some folks have done and do on other shows. We're not going to take that trickery that some folks do on other shows and other visions. And for everyone to understand, when it's time to be Talk Beat Jones, I don't have a dog in nobody's fight. I go to the bank, I draw out my money, and I pay my money to be on my show, to control my time. So if you don't like the way I do what I'm doing, you know who I'm speaking of, all of y'all. Don't call me, because I will not back up, and I won't take a long time explaining it to you. I love you, but I do know some of you. We're moving forward. We're not going backwards. We're moving forward, and we will be the entertaining, informational type of program that this city and the world deserves. I am Billy Jones, and this has been Talk Beat Jones. Tune in. Tell a friend. Gotta go. Love you. Bye-bye. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones.